Hey, we're going to be talking about people are trying to counsel Janet Jackson. And you know what group of people I'm talking about? Black women. You know, they get their panties in a bunch every 2 hours when something gets released about them, and they feel like they're the most beat down type of beat down people in America when they act a certain type of way, the most belligerent. You know, people don't even like to serve them at restaurants, or they hate when they have a female waiter. Like this, these are things that's happening in America. I still remember a few years ago in Texas, that man had that restaurant and kept telling the black women, hey, please do not twerk in my restaurant. I think his name was Kevin or something like that. And he was telling them, please do not twerk in my restaurant. My restaurant is not a club. And what the black women they do, they still was in there twerking. And this is a black establishment, a black man telling, hey, nobody want to smell motherfucking twerk wind over my fucking waffles. I don't want to smell that. We don't. I'm gonna be real. It's weird to have a conversation about how taking baths is cultural. Listen to this. So on TikTok, they talk about how the white people talking about they have bath days, they don't take baths 2 times a week. These are white people saying this, and then the black women are talking about this, right? But it's crazy to have that conversation, but then you have stuff in your head that you wear for months at a time that you don't wash, like your braids, like your wigs. There's plenty of hairstyles where y'all braid y'all shit back, put a stocking cap on, you got glue on top of that, and you will wear that motherfucker for months at a time. All types of sweat, you got your glue on there, you got it matted down, you got so much going on under there, and y'all want to tell me about white people not taking baths, but you will wear something on your head for months at a time. I'm just saying, what they call it, the pot calling the kettle black. I've been laid up with, a female that had some hair a little too long. Like, baby, you might need to change that. You like to go to the club a lot, places that smoking. You could spritz it or have, they got the spray that they try to spray to get the smell or call it cleaning. But, if you're not putting soap and water on that motherfucker, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But it's my little tangent. What I'm talking about, they're trying to counsel Janet Jackson. You know why they're trying to counsel Janet Jackson? They're trying to counsel Janet Jackson because Janet Jackson said something about Kamala Harris and said she heard, but she doesn't know, but she was putting it out there that Kamala ain't black. Now, listen to this. It is crazy that y'all want to counsel Janet, a person we know black from Gary, Indiana, whole family black, for Kamala Harris. And it's so easy to be black nowadays. It's so easy to be black. It's so scary because all you gotta do is go to a Howard or a Hampton University and pledge AKA, and now you black. When in fact those places have to have other demographics of people to go there because of affirmative action. Just saying, putting it out there. Like, you have to have a certain amount of other races because it would be deemed racist at these universities to have just black people. So when y'all be like, oh, she went to a HBCU. Yeah, if you've been on a HBCU or been to a HBCU campus, you will see some white people there. You will see some Asian people there. You're going to see a different demographic of people on a HBCU campus. But I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. I follow a girl that's a Zeta on my TikTok. Fine ass white girl fine as fuck. But she is in a black sorority, but y'all ain't calling her black. But Kamala is black all of a sudden. And y'all trying to counsel Janet Jackson. Janet, for what she said about Kamala. And I'm gonna read to y'all what was said. Let me read it because she had an interview. Janet Jackson questioned Kamala Harris's race in an interview published by The Guardian on Saturday, September 24th. first. The interview touched upon the singer's Tough Again tour, how she's recorded a lot of music that's sitting on the shelf, and being a parent. It also shifted to the topic of upcoming U.S. election, with the reporter noting Americans could elect the first black female president, Democratic nominee Harris. Well, you know what they supposedly said, Jackson chimed in. She's not black. That's what I heard. That she's Indian, added Jackson. Her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told that they discovered her father was white. You know, you could be a white man in Jamaica, because I'm going to say this shit again. Elon Musk is African. Say it again. Elon Musk is African. Let me say it one more time. Elon Musk is African. Elon Musk is African. So let me keep reading. She didn't elaborate on where she heard this information, which is false. Harris is both black and Indian. Her father, Donald J. Harris, came to the U.S. from Jamaica. Her mother is Shamala Gopalan, came from the U.S. from India. They both moved to the U.S. to study at the University of California, Berkeley, which is where they met in 1962. The Guardian approached the topic again with Jackson asking if she thinks America is ready for a president who is a woman of color. Jackson said, I don't know. I don't know, Jackson said. Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes is going to be mayhem. The singer quotes about Harris trending on social media, while many fans expressed disappointment in one of their idols repeating misinformation. You had a chance to stand with a black woman loud and proud, and you didn't. This is hard for a lifelong fan, says a top comment of Jackson's most recent Instagram post, which was taken over with reaction to what Jackson said about Harris. On X, formerly Twitter, a post read, Janet Jackson is one of the most influential people in music history. It was simply irresponsible of her to repeat something she heard regarding the very thing they use against Kamala, her own race. We are less than 50 days away from the elections. We gotta talk smarter. Over the summer, Donald Trump brought up Harris' racial identity at the National Association of Black Journalists convention in Chicago, where he claimed, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know. Is she Indian or is she black? At a September 10th presidential debate, Trump said, all I can say is I read where she was not black, and then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one is okay with me. That's up to her. Harris later responded, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be a president who has constantly, over the course of her career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. Let me tell y'all something. If race isn't an important thing in this presidential candidacy or presidential race, why is it brought up? If race isn't a big thing, why did Kamala just won't say, well, my mother's Indian, I'm just going to identify as Indian, or I'm going to identify as Jamaican, where my father was from, which is not black. Once again, it's Jamaican. I'm going to say this once again because y'all niggas is stupid. Elon Musk is African. Her father, Kamala, who I'm talking about, owned slaves. Her father, in a statement, said, I identify with the slave owners more than the people of this land. Factual. What is it? Actual, factual. You can look all of this up. I don't know why they're still defending this, but I get it. Black women It's a voting block that the Democratic Party know they got a stronghold on. They got black women in a headlock just like this. They won't let them go. They're not. And they know they got to at least hold on to that black identity this last election. This is election where they would not need none of your niggas no more in the Democratic Party. Trust my word on this. They would not need your vote anymore, black women or black men in the Democratic Party anymore after this election. Mark my words. They're trying to hold on to this one little thread of light with her identifying as black. W.E.B. Du Bois even spoke about the black boule and how it was going to infiltrate the black community, and a lot of black people were going to be misled by the black boule, i.e. the sororities and the fraternities. This is scary. Black men, get your motherfucking nuts back. Sometimes I think y'all need a prep talk. Y'all need to just be in the mirror holding your nuts and say, I'm a man. Just hold them. Hold them firm. You just need to grab your nuts and sometimes you just hold them firm, okay? That's all you need to do. Make sure they there. Because I keep saying this. Black men have screw on and off penises, and black women get to decide when you use them. We're not canceling Janet Jackson. I'm sorry. I'm not. Because I think I made one of my children to Would You Mind? Kamala has never done anything for my life, and I love my kids. If I can say Janet Jackson, that Would You Mind comes on, and it's going to be some touch me, taste me. I can't say the words because it's sexually explicit and YouTube. I just wanna. I've been singing in my head. I got the words in my head. I know the song very well. Baby, would you mind touching me ever so slowly? You're making me. Oh. Yeah, baby, would you mind making my juices? Oh, we ain't supposed to be saying all that. But yeah, Kamala ain't did enough of my life. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all canceling Janet for Kamala, I just want y'all to know that people should on Saturday. I can't say that. The channel be over before I say that. But if you please don't cancel. Y'all don't care what y'all do. Y'all stupid anyway. Canceling Janet Jackson. Fucking Janet Jackson for Kamala. Kamala, who put niggas in jail and try to put people in jail for fucking truancy and joked about smoking weed on the Breakfast Club and listening to Tupac and Biggie and trying to be relatable, and they weren't even there. This motherfucker talking about she black and shit and cooking had so much green she had to wash the greens in the tub. You canceling Janet Jackson for this bitch? This bitch. You canceling Janet Jackson for the bitch that said she cleaned. She had so many greens she cleaned the greens in the tub. You canceling Janet Jackson for the bitch that said she was listening to Tupac and Biggie and smoked weed in college when they wasn't even rapping at the time. You canceling Janet Jackson for the bitch that put black men in jail, and they got a whole thing, the 1,000-man release article of how they let men out of jail for marijuana possessions while she got on the Breakfast Club and joked about smoking weed. You're canceling Janet Jackson, the person we know that's black. from Gary, Indiana, when Kamala parents have said they were from Jamaica and India. She is what we would call Tariq Nasheed would call a tether. That's what who we canceling Janet Jackson for. A lot of y'all were conceived on Janet Jackson, and we canceling Janet Jackson for Kamala. What Kamala did for your life? A lot of y'all would not be here if it was not for Janet Jackson. Let's stop it. Let's stop it now. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Peace. Be easy.